How's it going, everybody? Ruffled Reality, and welcome to another video. Now guys, today we're doing part 2 of our top 5 countdown of the top 5 new Alola forms that could be cool to see in upcoming Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Now before we get started, I have to point this out because I'm definitely going to have people complaining about this. Let me explain. These videos are just for fun. I'm not making any false promises here. I'm not aiming to say that this is real or that this is going to happen. This is all just for fun. So please do remember that, guys. When you come in here watching this video, don't expect this to be an actual thing. I just want to hear your opinions on some fan-created work that really looks cool, and some of the Pokemon I think would be cool to see have Alola forms. Now, please beware and just please understand when I say these things. Just don't take it too personally, guys, and don't think that I'm trying to sit here and just make up a bunch of bullshit. The reason I do these videos is just for fun, and people do ask me to do them on Discord all the time. People message me in the comments all saying, yeah, please make more of these because they are fun to watch. And at the end of the day, it's all just for entertainment's sake. So please beware and don't, get instantly salty. If you have criticism, leave it down below, lads. But either way, let's get right into this countdown for the day, lads, with number 5. Number 5. Now, the first thing on the list here, guys, is going to be Weasel. Now, the reason why I think Weasel deserves to get in the lower form is because this is one of the just forgotten Pokemons. It is on the list of those Pokemons that you don't really always remember, but it is really a cool Pokemon from Gen 4, and I thought, why not just talk a bit about it? So, Weasel is generally a Pokemon that I always thought was just really cool back in, Gen 4, when you actually used it back in those days. It was a cool Pokemon. I liked having it on my team. I thought it was a great Pokemon to have, and honestly, I don't understand why we aren't going to be able to, see more of it. Like, I don't know why it's not getting any love, like many Pokemon. There are many Pokemon out there that never get any attention or any love, but I think Weasel does deserve it. And what if we got it Alola form, where it actually switches typing to something like grass typing, or something like this on the screen right here. Like you see, it's a grass type Weasel. But what if we don't do it into a grass type, but keep it as a, what it currently is, just a basic, normal water type, but we change its features, its body features, add maybe extra typing to it, something just adds more on top of it instead, just to make it like seem even better. Maybe even an ice typing would be cool. So I want to know your guys' opinion on that. What do you think that would be cool? And then maybe once Weasel evolves, it still keeps that, form, and it just turns into something like this, like another grass type kind of style to it. Or maybe it switches over to something, like a just larger ice type version of itself, with ice and water mixed into it. Would be really cool, and I want to know your opinions, guys. I think it's a Pokemon that deserves a bit more attention, as it really is never talked about much, and I thought, hey, let's just feature it right here, because it is a cool Pokemon. And imagine if it did get something like this, because it doesn't have a Mega, it doesn't have any like extra stuff to it, only has the first and second evolution, and that's about it. So why not give it some extra attention, with the future games and whatnot. So I want to know your opinions, lads. What do you think about it? So let's go to the next one. Number 4. Now, next up is going to be a different Pokemon. It's going to be Quagsire. Now, Quagsire is from Generation 2, and I want to point something out before we continue with this one. I know that I did in the last video feature majority, I think maybe even pretty much all of the ones, actually no, not all of them, but majority of the ones I featured in the last episode of this, series of these, countdowns, was actually Kanto Pokemon. And I know we already have too many things happening with Kanto Pokemon, and people are getting tired of Kanto getting the attention. So let's give some attention to something like Gen 2, which is my favorite gen. Gen 2 is definitely one of the best generations out there, in my opinion. And what if we gave Quagsire, a Pokemon from that generation, an Alola form, and something in this style? I mean, look at this. It looks really cool. And changing its typing to Poison and Ground would be interesting, and we lose that sort of water typing on it, which would be a weird combination, but it would work, especially with these sort of features on it, and especially living in a kind of place where, like Alola, maybe living inside of a more of mountainy area, that would maybe work for it. It would actually, make sense if it lives in like a poisonous area, like a mountain where lava and whatnot is around it, and it just takes in toxins. It would make sense that it's Poison and Ground. But I don't know, guys, what do you think? Maybe even Dark and Ground could work here with the colors it has. It would actually match up well, but I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. I personally think this is beautiful, and Radiant Dawn really made some great work here with this like fan form. It really does look cool, and honestly, I think Quagsire does deserve a bit of attention and would be cool to see as an Alola Pokemon, and like an Alola form version of it. So I don't know, guys. I want to know your opinions. Of course, we never know if this is going to happen, but we can always just speculate for fun, and that's just about it, guys. This is not a promise that this will happen, but what if we did get it? It would be cool. Then again, that's about it for this one, lads. Let's go to the next one on the list.
Number 3.
Now, coming to the third place, guys, we got ourselves Cordelia and Leap. Now, the reason why I included these on the list is actually because, just think about it, these are Gen 3 Pokemon, and we haven't had too many of those get any, like, attention, generally speaking. I mean, we have had Megas for Gen 3 Pokemon, but overall, I do think these deserve a bit more attention, especially with a region like Alola. Now, Cordelia is large. It is a big Pokemon, but what if it was larger? I mean, we've seen stuff like, you know, I don't want to even think about it, but we've seen stuff like Exeggutor get a larger neck. But what if a Pokemon that actually would fit with a longer neck, like Cordelia, would get a actual, you know, Alola form with a larger neck and like a butt on its back, like this right here, created by Owly who actually made a kind of blue tinted and color changed version of Cordelia and Leap that just looks so much better, man, and he would work as Alola forms, especially in a region like Alola where it's warmer, the climate is warmer, and it's better weather for them, so they can actually grow bigger and also maybe change the color of their skin like this, or like, you know, it just would make sense in general terms, especially with the way that they just got larger, and also their buds are changed and there's like little spikes on them, and I guess that's just for protection's sake, because, you know, if there's predators in the area, like, you know, dangerous Pokemon that you have to deal with, like Salandits and whatnot, they can keep themselves safe with those, you know, buds, just slashing them. So I think that's a cool concept, and I think it would fit to the Alola region itself, and I think it would be cool, like, just to see this sort of Alola form for the new games Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, as I don't know, I do think Gen 3 Pokemon deserve a little more attention as well. Of course, Gen 2, Gen 3, and Gen 4 all deserve to get a bit more, you know, Alola forms and just stuff like that. Now, we do know that Megas ain't gonna be happening, but at least something like this would be well-deserved for a Pokemon like this, as I do think Cordelia and Leap both deserve a tad bit more attention, and that's why I include them here, lads. Let's go to the next one on the list.
Number 2.
Now, coming up next is going to be a Pokemon that, yes, is from Generation 1, so please bear with me, but this design is made by Fatmon here. As you guys know, he is an amazing designer, and he made this Alolan Hypno. Now, what would the difference be between a normal Hypno and this Alolan Hypno? Well, it does have some extra features on its body, as well as that Tiki mask. Well, as we know, Alola is based on sort of Hawaii, and, you know, making it style in that sense would make sense, especially with the Tiki mask, and of course we got that long ass nose of its being slightly longer, and also we do have this like necklace that is with a bunch of leaves. It generally looks nice, and as you guys know, Hypno has that little like whatever thing that he like sways back and forth to hypnotize people. Here he has, for some reason, a little Chikorita doll. Makes no sense. I think something better there to have would probably be like one of those like little Tiki like tubes or whatever. I don't really know what you call them, like little like, I don't even know what you call these things, but basically one of those little Tiki tubes would probably be better because it will make sense for the region. And I haven't seen many Pokemon, actually I've seen close to 0 Pokemon that actually got a lot of forms that are, you know, kind of mixed up with the features of like Hawaii or like, you know, the Alola region itself. There's no really like correlation between them, and I think it would be nice to see something like this, and that's why I included Hypno here. And I thought the design was really well, like just well made and well worth the time to look at and feature, and I think it would be a cool Pokemon to give, you know, a tad bit more attention, as Hypno is one of those Pokemon you really just forget about. The only times you think about it is in your nightmares, because you know that thing will take you from behind. So that's all I gotta say about Hypno on this list. Now let's go to the number 1 on our countdown.
Number 1.
And coming in at the number 1 spot is going to be, of course, the Gen 4 starters. Now, the reason for this is because, honestly, we didn't get Gen 4 remakes. I know a lot of people wanted that. I am okay with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I would have preferred, though, Diamond and Pearl remakes, as they just seem like the more fun thing to get. Because just imagine those DS graphics, but now upgraded, you know, that whole world, that whole region, Sinnoh, upgraded to the 3D style of the 3DS would just be phenomenal. But we ain't gonna get it this year, maybe next year or a year or two from now, we might get it. But to make up for that, what about giving us, maybe just for the fun of it, some Alola form starters from Gen 4? And right here we have ourselves Empoleon, Infernape, and Torterra. Now, some of these are designed to be more of Mega Evolutions, and some are designed to be Alola forms. Now, the Torterra was the only one I was going to feature originally, but I really want to feature the other two as well, because they do look badass. Now, let's go from Torterra first, because that was the one I originally wanted to feature on the list. And here we go. We got ourselves Torterra looking just hella badass with this design. It looks almost like a floating island, and if you guys have watched Naruto, you know that there is this part of the anime where they are on a giant island, that is literally a turtle, and it's the back of a turtle. And this looks like that sort of concept, and I do like that sort of. Now, original Torterra does already have that sort of thing going for it, but this one has like a little volcano at the back, and these flowers that look so beautiful and give you that Hawaiian vibe to it. And honestly, it just looks like a properly well-made Alola form that would make sense. Then again, that's not the only one. We do also have the Mega Infernape, but also could work as an Alolan form, which we have right here, and it's just a larger Infernape that, honestly, I love that smile if I'm gonna be honest, and it has a cape on its back that's just flaming through. It's just a flame, which is so different, and it does also get these shoulder-like thingies, shoulder blades that are supposed to protect it, and kind of a chest plate thing that I guess really is just there as protection. But overall, it could work as an Alola form and as a Mega Evolution, really, if I'm gonna be fairly honest. I don't really know what you guys think. Do you think this would work as just a Mega or as an Alolan form as well? Then finally we have Empoleon. And this thing, oh my god, it gets just a giant trident on its head, and its arms are just these giant shield-looking things that are just so humongous, man, and I don't really know what to say else about them. They're just so huge, and I don't really know what it would use those for. Maybe it's higher defense, who knows? It could be a cool concept. Either way, my point is, these would be really great to see just in the upcoming Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but then again, this is not guaranteed. Like I say always in this video, guys, these are only for fun, and only just hoping for things that we pray that we will get, because we never know what they will do. The Pokemon games are always amazing, but it's never guaranteed what we're gonna get, and these videos are just for fun to speculate about these sort of things. So I hope you guys are okay with that, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then do drop a like down below. And do check out our future videos as well, and do subscribe for future videos if you want to see more content. My name has been Waffle Rowlet. I'll catch you all the next time. Bye bye, ladies and gentlemen.